Shavua Tov, Shalom Aleichem. Welcome to this installment of Mishnah Yomi for the 9th of Tishrei, Erev Yom Kippur. If you do get the chance over today or tomorrow to look again at Mishnayot Yuma, which we finished a few months ago, all about Yom Kippur, it is very worthwhile. You'll notice a lot of the davening, the prayer service, especially musaf on Yom Kippur, is taken based on the Mishnayot that we learned together. And it's always appropriate if you have the opportunity, for example, to learn Mishnayot Sukkah on Sukkot and Rosh Hashanah on Rosh Hashanah. And you could review Beitzah on Chol HaMoed. It's relevant to Moed Katan. We'll see on Chol HaMoed also. But for today, we are in chapter 3 of Megillah at Mishnah Dalet. And we're going to be talking about the special parshiot, the special Torah readings that we do in Adar or Adar Sheni if it's a leap year, that are related to Purim and Pesach. So Mishnah Dalet picks up Rosh Chodesh Adar, Shachal Liyot b'Shabbat. If it's both Rosh Chodesh Adar and Shabbat, Korin beParshat Shkolim. Then we read Shkolim. So Shkolim, as we mentioned in Mishnayot Shkolim, is about donating the annual half-shekel coin from every Jew to fund the communal offerings at the temple and the temple upkeep. This was read close to Rosh Chodesh Adar, because the cutoff is Nissan. We want to bring in the Shkolim in Adar. And the Mishnah continues here, Chaliyot betoch Shabbat. If the Rosh Chodesh was not on Shabbos itself, but during the week, Makdimin l'sha'avar. So we will do Shkolim right before Rosh Chodesh. It's either on Rosh Chodesh Adar or right before Rosh Chodesh Adar. Umafsikin l'Shabbat acheret. And so if it's in that the previous to Rosh Chodesh Adar, then we'll take off the next Shabbos, meaning we'll have the regular musaf reading, not the special shkolim reading. B'shniya, on the second week, we have a special reading, Zachor. That's the famous story about Amalek and how we need to remember how Amalek attacked the defenseless Jewish people. And this reading of Zachor always falls before, a week before the Shabbos before Purim, because Haman is actually descended from Agag, descended from Amalek. So he's a continuation of the legacy of Amalek, baseless anti-Semitism against the Jewish people. So to have Zachor before Purim is very appropriate. B'shlishit, the third special reading, is Para Aduma. We call Parshat Para, the reading about the Para Aduma, the red heifer that was used to make the special sprinkling water, the Mei Chatat, to purify people who became Tamei Met. Now, the reason we always do this always ends up being a Shabbos before Nisan, is we want people to become pure. In ancient times, they need to become pure to go to the temple for Pesach, to bring the carbon Pesach. So a couple weeks before Pesach, all right, it's a couple weeks before Pesach, it's just before Rosh Chodesh Nisan. We want people to have in mind the laws of ritual purity so they can realize if they became Tamei Met and need to obtain a sprinkling of Para Aduma water. The Revit, the fourth special reading, which will take place on Rosh Chodesh Nisan itself or the Shabbos immediately before Rosh Chodesh Nisan, is HaChodesh Hazeh Lechem, is the Parsha of Rosh Chodesh about sanctifying the moon, when Hashem commanded the Jewish people to sanctify the moon and declare the Rosh Chodesh, and that was actually done right before Rosh Chodesh Nisan in Egypt. The Chamishit, on the fifth Shabbos, there's no special reading, Chozrin Lichasidron. You go back to the regular order, the regular Parsha, and the regular maftir associated with that week's Torah laning. Now the Mishnah concludes, L'chol mafsikin, for any special occasion, we interrupt the regularly scheduled musaf Torah reading and replace it with the one for the special occasion. For example, B'Rosh Chodeshim. If Rosh Chodesh is on Shabbos, we don't read the regular musaf Torah reading. We have a reading for Rosh Chodesh. The Gemara goes through what all these are. The Bartner brings some of them as well. B'Chanukah, Chanukah and Purim, when they're on Shabbos, we have a special reading associated with them. B'Taniyot, on a fast day. Ma'amadot. Now, Ma'amad was when the special representatives of the Jewish people were having a special prayer service with extra readings. They read from Bereshit as representatives of the men who went on their shift to go to the temple, as representatives of the whole Jewish community. Yom Kippurim, and when Yom Kippur is on Shabbat, we read the Yom Kippur reading associated with that instead of the regular musaf. Mishnah Hay goes on to explain some of the special readings, but Pesach, according to Parashat Moedot Shel Torah Kohanim, Over the days of Pesach, we add in a reading about the holidays, all of the holidays that's in Torah Kohanim. Torah Kohanim is another name for Leviticus, for Sefer Vayikra. Because later on, there's also a discussion of the laws of the holidays in Parshat Pinchas, later on in the next Sefer. Atzeret is Shavuot. We read Shiva Shavuot, 7 weeks, about counting 7 weeks from day after Pesach to get to Shavuot. Rosh Hashanah, and Rosh Hashanah we read about Chodesh Hashvi, Be'achad LaChodesh. So this is the musaf reading for both days of Rosh Hashanah. Of course, as we remember from last week, we read about Hashem remembering Sarah to have a child on the first day. We read about Akedat Yitzchak on the second day. But this Chodesh Hashvi, Be'achad LaChodesh, about the festival, the Yom Tov of Rosh Hashanah, we read on both days. Yom Kippurim, Acharei Mot, and that reading is associated with the commandment to Aharon HaKohen to perform the Yom Kippur rituals. Yom Tov Rishon Shel Chag, on the first day of Sukkot, Korin B'Parashat Moedot Sheptot Kohanim. We read the laws of the festivals that are found in Vayikra, Leviticus, B'Shar Kol Yemot HaChag, and on the other days of the Chag, like Chol HaMoed, the middle days of Sukkot, B'Karbanot HaChag. We read about the offerings brought on that day. As explained in Sukkot, the offerings are pretty special in Sukkot because they change every day. There's a different number of bowls brought. So if you go into Shul, Chol HaMoed, Sukkot, you'll find us reading that day, and sometimes we go back and read the day before, the day after, so we have enough psukim for all the aliyot. Yashar kochachem, sei gesund, and I hope that tonight and tomorrow we have a meaningful Yom Kippur, wherever you are. Your tefillot, your prayers should be answered for the good. Gemar Chatima Tova. Tizkulu mitzvot.